Hello, Sebastien Craft here, and welcome back to Cherry Vanilla Survival, episode number 14. It's probably a better format to sing, because it sounds like I'm welcoming you back to this episode number 14, which would mean that I've already done episode number 14. Doesn't really make any sense, but yeah, welcome back, to the channel, I guess. So yeah, I've been working on the side a little bit, like I said, also on the inside a little bit, I'll show you. But there it is, I got this whole side done. And the other side all done, except I think a few trap those at the top that I have to put in second, but I haven't actually started on the back, but I'm going to probably continue working that during this episode, and I'll maybe show you at the end or next episode or something like that, but we're not going to be working on the mob spawn at all this episode, as far as I know, unless things go wrong for some reason. But yeah, I've also worked on, filled in what's the chest everywhere. I just need to put a couple more in there. I need some more iron to do that, but yeah, that's working pretty well. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Things seems to be working well. Except this one. I don't know exactly what's going on with this one. Anyways, other than that, what we're gonna be doing today is somebody has opened up a slime ball shop finally. Well, not finally, but they have. And I haven't been able to find a slime chunk yet, so I haven't really got my own slime balls, but luckily he's selling them quite cheap at spawn, so we now have plenty of slime balls to do slime ball and slime block related things. You can obviously to make sticky pistons, which I'll probably use for various things in redstone in the future. But the main thing is we can do slime block things. So the first thing I'm going to do here is make a slime block drop bounce thing. Like I'm not sure if you remember from my first episode I showed you maybe a few times. I know there's a leap of faith at spawn actually. Why don't we go see it right now? Here it is. There's no ladders in it right now, which is kind of weird. There might be an entrance at the bottom. I don't know. Somebody said it. I don't know. Somebody changed it. I'm hoping that if not, I can just teleport back to spawn. But anyways, so here it is. You can go, jump, poof. Yeah, there's a door at the bottom here. So I can hold on the shift, I believe. I do take damage, but anyways, if we hop down here, I guess we can go up back somewhere. I don't know where it is. We'll see where we come up here. But yeah, I want to build one of those at the spawn base. Oh, not the spawn base. At the the spawn base. I'm not sure what I was thinking there. But at the sky base there, and because we're on the sky already, I thought, why don't we make it from bill limit to bedrock, which would be the longest possible. It's also, I'm probably gonna add some sticky pistons on the slime box at the bottom so that we get a jump boost sort of. Oh, that's interesting. Comes up here. Anyways, so I'm gonna go do that. We just have to make a tower up. I'm not sure if I want to put it. I'm thinking about putting it in the mob spawner tower because it's already up fairly close, not very close to build limit, but reasonably close to build limit. Or I might make its own tower. I don't want to do a whole near tower project because if you make it too small, it looks just like a big skinny thing. So we'll see. Anyways, I might just do that. I also want to make a slime block and pearl launcher to get back to the mainland, possibly. So from that little bottom thing, if we head back home here, we can start showing you this. From the little bottom thing in the base, when you first come in with the nether portals, I want to make a second story to that, so one story below it. And I want to put a slime block launcher in so that you can get back to the mainland, hopefully. Not slime block launcher. Slime block ender pearl launcher, so it launches the ender pearl farther so that you teleport, because you can almost get to the mainland from the top of the sky base with an ender pearl, but not quite. You only need like maybe 10 blocks, maybe 15. Comfortably, so I think that will hopefully increase our range. So yeah, I want to add an air floor below this, maybe make a stair over here that will launch the ender pearl, or maybe I'll see if it doesn't make it, I might have to install it at the top here. We'll see. But yeah, the first thing I want to do is make a drop, which you might as well make it from inside the building here. So what I was thinking is if we go back here, let me in. If we go back here, I was thinking of adding it in one of these little square areas right here. Actually, no, the mob spawner is in the way. I just noticed that. Okay, we might have to go to the back and sort of, yeah, we can have this sort of, little back area. But yeah, I want to get started now. I'm going to get some setup, some things done, some preparation, get some slime blocks made, and figure out exactly where I want to put it. I'm probably just going to stick it out the back like this. And yeah, I'll see you in a bit when we can go ahead and make it. Build limit to bedrock. It's a launcher bit at the bottom, and we'll probably kind of have it aim for this land here so we can get out of it if necessary. But yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, so I did say we were going to work on the slime block stuff, but something else quite a bit more important than that is come up, so we'll probably maybe do those later in the episode or some other time when we have time. But villager breeder, so The mob briefing has been turned back on, so we can actually finally work and see if this villager breeder is going to work or function, hopefully, properly. So I've actually put both villagers back in, and one of them escaped, actually, so I had to get that back in, but yeah. And as you can see, they've been farming, quite successfully, I believe. So he's been farming, which means that all the mob briefings are back on, which is good. Which probably hold those few blocks there, but yeah. So all I need to do is get. I think the only thing that's stopping it from functioning currently is the lack of villager down there, which is because that will create a village. Then they want to breed, fill it, and fill the village. So that's what's going to give them the want to breed. So yeah, that's what we need to do. So first, we need to actually go down in the ocean here, because we need to go down to where that villager fell down. That's why we don't have it in there currently. So if we hop down here and zoom over there quickly, all we need to do is put them through that portal. That's actually kind of we have a flint steel, right? Okay. I did actually have to disable that portal to get up to the village. Where am I going? To the sky base, because the portals were interfering and stuff like that. But yeah, let's go turn that back on. I'm going to try to get him out of the water, where if you close them in here into this portal. I would grab an village from the village from the villager. It'd probably almost be easier, but I don't feel like doing that right now. So doing this. Okay, let's hopefully we should be able to get him to the portal here. Ta-da! He's gone. Okay, so what we need to do is we actually need to do the fancy portaling thing I want to do to get him up to the portal and to villager breeder. We're gonna need to disable this portal. Let's go back to home here, like so. Go back into the nether. I have that portal enclosed, so he should be running around or anything weird. So he should be in that pocket up there. If not, he's been lost in the transportation somehow. He's been lost in the transport. Okay, let's go over there quickly. Where is he? There he is. Okay, so now, because I disabled that portal, now this portal should link up with the portal at the sky base, hopefully. So we should just have to push him back in again. Okay, so you might have to go back out. Oh, don't do that. Oh. Okay, he's through. I punched him and he went through. Okay, so hopefully, I also enclosed it over at the village reader too, so this should link up. I also could link up to this one. Shoot, okay. That's not good. Oh shoot. Oops. I didn't think of that combination of portal linking. I thought it was going to go over there. So we either got to get him. We can either minecart him all the way over there, which isn't really that bad. I don't know if I have enough minecarts, so yeah. Or we can try to get him. So I'm gonna go. So he's safe in this room here. Nobody's gonna hurt him. He's gonna stay there. Okay, so now we can try to go over here and do some portal fiddling with. Wait, you just have to go back in. One more push. One more push. And he's gone, I think, right? Yeah. Oh shoot, I've killed him. Not good. Not good. I guess this has 5+ attack damage. I've hit him a couple times. Well, that's a bit of a setback. I might have to go get an air villager. So I have an air villager. Luckily, there's a couple left in the village that haven't all disappeared. So there wasn't very many in this village, I think, to start with. Hopefully, we can get this guy back there safely and so falling in the water or dying or whatever. I'm gonna give him a shove like that. Whew, he's in. Okay. Now let's go see if he's in the right spot. Shoot, he didn't connect up with that portal. Okay, not the end of the world. This is a secure place where he can be in. We just need to push him. Towards here. And if he starts running, it's fine because, yeah, it's fine. Almost there. One more push. And we're in. Any baby villagers? Any baby villagers? Okay. There's the villager down here. Let's push the doors. Okay, well, anyways, I'm gonna go and see if I can figure out if there's any reason why it's not working or if it's gonna work eventually. looking at each other. No, it's just a coincidence. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna go figure out, see what I can figure out here, and be back in a bit. Oh, the village has fallen in. Oh shoot, that's bad. That is real bad. This shouldn't. Oh my god. Okay, well he's gonna drown, I guess. Oh, that's sad. You're gonna drown, are you? Oh. He's trying. What if I do this? Okay, well, I think I've messed up the villager breeder a little bit here, somehow. But, we'll figure that out in a second. Oops. Okay, I think this is either the way it's supposed to be working, or, it's working. So, yeah, so it should stay here, it's not drowning or anything weird. And when he goes up, he should be able to jump high enough that he goes up to the water stream, and up to the holding tank there, hopefully. So yeah. There it is. That's working. I don't know. I'm gonna wait for him to go up and see what happens. But other than that, I guess these guys will have their baby at one point, sometime, hopefully. Anyways, this seems to be working. I'm gonna monitor it for a little bit more, and then we can move on to the next stage of doing all this stuff, doing a little bit of transport stuff and the storage stuff. At least the beginnings of it. Yeah. Oh, and there he is. He's going up, and now he's gonna stay there in the little compartment. And hopefully they'll have an air villager baby. I'm not exactly sure how this works. Here's, yeah. So it works. Yay. So I'm gonna go see, hopefully figure out if they don't have an air one, why that is. If so, I'll show you that, and then we can work on getting some transportation and some storage and stuff worked out. And here we are. I have been testing the villager breeder system up for a little while here. Actually, I've just been AFK for about half an hour or so, and you can see there's one in there. There's a couple adults up at the top. I didn't want to take a screenshot. I wanted to go back there. There's a couple adults in the top. The first problem I thought I might have had is that the adults weren't breeding when there was villagers in the holding area here. Oh yeah, I've extended this little area, so experimenting with them being farther away. But yeah, it seems like that's not a problem. It's just slower than I thought it was gonna be. So I believe the video that I saw, Impulse SV, this video that I based this on, link in the description if you want to see that, said it was about 1 every 10 minutes. It's not 1 every 10 minutes, it's closer to 20 minutes, 25 minutes, because the babies take about 20 minutes to grow up, and I believe I've never seen them breed before a baby's, oh my god, like, for some reason. Also, there's a baby villager over there. I'm not sure how it's done because I wasn't watching it. Usually they just stay down there, hop around until they grow. These guys are harvesting. There's a guy down there. And yeah, the villager breeder is currently working. We can go see what guys kind of trades these guys have. Fallen. It's a cleric. That's useful. Not great. Emerald trade. Armorer. Not good. But yeah. Seems like that. I just want to be able to. So I'm probably going to AFK for a while longer here and get a few more stored up, and then we'll move on to the villager storage system, which I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to do it. Not exactly sure. We kind of need. I don't know if there's a way of getting the villagers to come out one at a time. That's kind of what I want to figure out if I can do. I don't know if I can. It's a possibility that I could, though. I don't know, because I want to be able to have a whole bunch of storage areas, so essentially little capsules, like that, that the water stream comes over top of them, and then we'll have a piston here, so that when you can select which thing you want them to fall in, and obviously the first one, the counter they'll fall into that's open. So I'll have a piston at the top. Also probably have a piston at the bottom that if you want to get rid of that villager, you can just drop them, etc. It's complicated. I'm gonna kind of want to make this big and complicated, and half of me wants to do that, and half of me wants to make it more simple. But yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing, is have I don't know if I want to do the individual buildings. I might have maybe some large buildings with different types in them. Maybe we'll have a building for each villager type, and we'll have a row of a whole bunch of these little capsules, and then we can just drop them in, I guess. The trick is going to be separating them into one at a time, so that we can say, okay, now that I have this type of villager, I want it to go in this building, and I can flip the switches and make it go there. Not exactly sure how that's going to work, but I guess I'll look into it. But yeah, I'm going to do some research here on all the systems I want to do. Figure out, I'm not sure why that guy went up there. Might have been a bug. If there was 2 of them or something, an adult villager or something like that. Maybe we'll see this guy grow up. Probably not. But yeah, it seems like relative efficiency. I've been AFK for I think about 30 minutes at that point, and I've got a few here. So I think it's pretty good. It's close to 10 minutes. Every so minutes. I'm guessing about every 20 minutes. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to get started on the research. See if hopefully get a bit more villages booted up, and see you in a bit. Okay, I'm over here in creative. I just want to show you what I've been working on or designing for the last little while. It is I guess its simplest form is a villager separation device. I guess I'm going to be using this in the villager thing, of course, in survival. So what it does most basically is take villagers that are going down this water stream, and it puts them one at a time into these things, but just one in each thing. So if you have multiple, even if you have multiple villagers going at the same time. So let's put 3 villagers in. So first one will go into here, and then the next one will go into this one, and then one will go to the end, like that. So I'm going to show you how those work, and then I'll explain how the redstone works. So yeah, the first one is going to go in here. Now he's stored in that tank, and the next one is going to fall in here. Now he's stored in that tank, and this one over here is going to go to the end and fall off. So yeah, now we have 2 sinks and 2 villages in here by themselves, even though they were a whole bunch of villages in this thing. Obviously, I don't know if it will work if they're right beside each other, but it's pretty fast and close to the piston. But yeah, so it shouldn't allow more than one villager in this thing at a time, at least not very often. And if you're wondering, both these tanks here are exactly the same. This one is where they would probably look like with some decoration around it, and this is one without no decoration, so I can show you the redstone a little better. But yeah, how it works is the villagers going along. Actually, no, one more thing I want to show you before I do that. If you press this button, they fall down below into an air water stream, and then they can either be dealt with or disposed of, or whatever. I will show you exactly how I'm going to implement these devices. There's actually going to be several different types. They'd be similar, but anyways, I'll show you that back when in survival world. I can show you a bit of layout of what I've been thinking. But yeah, I can let piston out. This indicator light indicates when there is a villager in it. I can also override, so I can close it and not have the villager fall in. Sadly, the indicator light goes on, and I can't really avoid that easily. So I'm putting the switch really high up, so I didn't want to do that. But yeah, so the indicator light indicates that no villager can go into there, and you can override this in case you don't want a villager falling down. So how it works is pretty simple, though. That's actually the redstone turned out to be fairly compact. So when you're floating along here, you're gonna fall. Villager obviously gonna fall into this pit here, and then there's a tripwire that runs across here. I would have used a pressure plate, except that I need to take the floor out. I need to move this piston, which will take the floor out, which doesn't work with pressure plates, so we're not going to do that. This slab here is just meant to keep the villager from walking out, or no, actually not walking out, walking into this little space here, because they can't. They don't see the tripwire hook as a solid block. And I would have completely enclosed this, but now that obviously we need to be able to get at the villagers to do trading and to check their trades and stuff. So you can go here, you can trade with them like that. So yeah, there's tripwire hooks down here, which then is actually, the redstone is quite simple. It purely just activates this block. It gets powered from the tripwire when the villager is in it, which then powers this piston, which then extends this piston with ice. The ice is quite important because if it wasn't ice, the villager would just get stuck in this little gap here in this ice. They do very occasionally get stuck, and I may have to try to figure out how to do that, but I don't think that'd be a problem. And if so, we just go in there and push them. But yeah, if you put a villager in here, you can watch it. It pretty much just activates the tripwire and extends the piston. And we let this guy out. Come on. Even in creative, I can't move around properly. Okay. This button, again, is pretty simple. It's just purely an inverted button, so it's redstone dust there, so I can move the button over a bit, and then the torch powers the block, and then if you press the button, that piece of redstone gets powered, which then turns off the torch, which then releases the piston and lets the villager go down. So that's that simple, and then this lever here is just powering the piston, like so. And this is what I've sort of set up for the decoration, just sort of as an idea. I may or may not use quartz. I might use this certain things. I'll explain when I have to you, because there's actually going to be several possibly different implementations of that. But yeah, that's pretty much how what the redstone does. That's all about it. I can show you again here. I actually it's kind of weird looking. You can see I've been testing it quite a lot. They do very occasionally get stuck, but not very often. And like that. And that one goes like that. And then what you can do is you can let them out like so. And like so. And there we go. And I'll fall into this wire stream here. So yeah, I want to head over to the survival server, and I will show you how I want to lay out all these different capsules, because these are going to actually be used as temporary storage as well as permanent storage and organization. So yeah, I'm going to go over there and show you my layout there. We probably won't get it all done this episode, but we'll at least get started on the first section of it. So yeah, see you in a bit. So over here back on Cherry Vanilla, and I just want to show you what I have. We want to have the capsules laid out. So we're actually going to have to bring from the villager beater this up quite a bit farther than this, and we're going to be bringing it into a row of the storage cells, like I just showed you, like that. It's probably going to be, I'm guessing, around 10 of them will probably be sufficient, and it's going to be a big line of those at the back here. So what that's going to provide is storage. So whenever a villager gets bred, it's going to go into that water stream and fall into the nearest one. So when I'm AFKing, the villagers can fall down, and we'll have a whole bunch of them just waiting to be sorted, essentially. So we'll be able to go to each one, check out its trades, its type, like that, and decide whether we want to keep it, or and if we do want to keep it, where we want it to go, and if not. So essentially it allows us to take out one at a time. I should probably light that up. One at a time quite easily. So that's what that's going to be. So I'm going to have a row along the back here to do that. And then once we decide what we want the villager to do, we can drop it down into the water stream, as I showed at the bottom. And it's going to be a water stream that probably about this level here, actually, maybe a little bit higher. So that will be the bottom water stream. So the top water stream will be like that. And then you'll have to climb up some stairs to get at the capsules. But when we decide what you want to do with it, you can drop it into the water stream, and you can either go and probably get thrown off the edge if you want to dispose of it. We don't want that villager. And if we do want it, we'll send it back into a big loop that will go around to all the various storage shells. The permanent storage cells, at least will be the temporary ones. We have a whole bunch of permanent ones, but we're going to have the villagers at least for a while to actually trade with them. So what I'm going to do is you can get it into that water stream that's going to flow around, and you can drop it into any building by activating and disactivating various pistons, which will direct it to what building and what slot you want exactly. So I believe I'm going to use the same capsule design, because it does have a manual override, so that will allow you to pick what capsule you want in. And then the layout for the buildings, I thought I was going to do more of a mini villager type situation, but I'm not sure if that's going to be quite practical, because splitting them all up like that might be a bit unpractical to go trade with them. So what I want to do is probably I'm still going to stick with the whole theme of having the weird villager kind of rustic type buildings with the scientific things going around them. I think that look cool. So I'm actually going to have like 3 or 4, or maybe 5, probably one building for each villager type. So I don't know exactly how many. It's like 5 or 6, like that, something like that. I'm going to have one building for each villager type, and then we'll be able to sort of direct what building we want to do by probably closing off each building, so that if they want to go into it, they can. If not, then so be it, etc. We'll probably have those laid out there, and then inside each building will probably have maybe like 3 or 4 of these holding cells that we can put the individual villages in at our will. So yeah, just to recap here, we have the temporary cells that they go into automatically after they've been bred. And those will be at the back here, and that's where we start on. And then when you want to decide, you can either dispose of them by clicking the dispose lever, I guess, and then having them fall into the water stream and go off. If not, then we'll fall into the main loop. And actually, what I'm going to probably do with that loop is, if it doesn't fall into a building, then it will probably come back around and go back into the temporary storage again. Just so that if you do make a mistake, you don't have it in some weird problem stuck. But yeah, after you decide where it's going to go and you decide you want to keep it, it'll go into one of the buildings. And of course, in each storage cell inside the building will also have the button at the bottom of each storage cell in the buildings too, that you can either dispose of it. I'm not sure if I'm going to have it just so it directly falls down into the ocean, or something more complex than that, where it does cycle it back into this big round system that's going from the bottom stream of all the temporary holding cells around all the buildings and then come back into the temporary. I'm not sure if I'm going to have when you dispose of the villagers inside the buildings. If you're going to have a what you call it, you're going to have it go into that loop so that you can reuse it if necessary. I probably will end up doing that, or at least have an option to do that, which is probably good. So that if you want to say move that villager to a different building, you can do that easily by just having it come into the temporary storage cell, go into the nearest one, you know which one that it is, then you can redirect it and then have it go back into the building. We're going to have to use some elevators for that too. I think the villager breeder is still working. I had some problems with him not harvesting the potatoes, but I believe that's just because inventories are full. Anyways, whatever. I just have it turned off here, so we can turn off the villager breeder. Much if I showed you this by doing this, so when they do grow up, they'll float up in here and they'll drown in that. I also need to get rid of that guy somehow. I've killed all the other ones because I just don't want them floating around. And then once we have at least a temporary thing set up, actually we'll probably wait until we have the whole thing set up, and then we'll turn it back on and we can start breeding villagers. Yeah, that's the plan. Thing I want to do first probably is work on these temporary cells. So probably what I'll do is I'll probably transport it up quite high over to about here and down a little bit into the top layer that goes across to all the temporary cells, and then below that at about this level here we'll have the bottom cell. So it's actually been quite high up in the air. That's why I believe when we abandoned having the whole dome idea, I'm not sure if you remember that, I was going to have a whole dome across this thing. That would be difficult having this tallest system. There's also the option of having this lower down and having stuff on the ground. I'm not exactly sure yet. I'm going to work on that, planning a little bit, and get at least the water streams in, and then we can start working on the redstone and things. Now that I have slime, I shouldn't have these problems getting sticky pistons, which is good. And it's 2 pistons and a handful of redstone bits, tripwire and stuff like that. So it's actually quite cheap to make each cell. They are a bit wide, sadly. But anyways. So that's what I do. I want to get the water streams and stuff in, and then I'll show you, and then we can start working on the redstone and all the other stuff. This is going to be a really complicated project. So it's probably going to be not just this episode, but we'll probably work on the next episode at least too. So I've done quite a lot of stuff since the last update. Actually, not really that much stuff in the overall grand scheme of things, but it actually looks quite impressive, the amount of glass and water streams and stuff we have set up here. This is the beginning of the temporary storage units. This is going to be this is the first unit. You can see all the way, there's already a villager in it, so it worked. I was going to record the villager falling into it, but I missed it. And there's a couple more in the breeder getting ready to grow up. So I will try to record one of those going in. But yeah, it definitely works. So I have this main unit here. And this is going to be the only unit on this side of the breeder. So the other one's going to go along this here. So that's the upper water stream, and that's the lower water stream. So we're going to have probably like 3 or 4 more of these temporary cells on the side. And over here is going to be our main cell. We probably wouldn't use more than one of the villager cells at a time, because even if they are full, even if all the cells are full, I'm going to have it set up so that it loops in around big loops. So all the ones that get to the end of the upper waterway will have their water that comes all the way across and comes back down, and it'll keep cycling them until it finds an empty storage shelf to put them in. So there'll be just an empty loop. But yeah, I just want to have I'm going to have like one here, which will be a main one, in a more central location here, because we'll probably have some of the control stuff around here, and then we'll probably have 3 or 4 on this side here like this. So that's the basic gist of things. To explain all this crazy water streams and stuff, we have one that goes up. Actually, no, it's probably easier just for me to go to the top here. So the villagers will go up to there, they'll go up the elevator like this. We go into this water stream, which then goes over to here and down into this, and you can see we have the first cell closed, and it's going to keep going on and on. These are the special little joints things that I've come up with so that the villagers don't have any chance of getting stuck between waters, and the water stream gets too long, and it goes all the way here. And once it gets to the end, it's going to have one that's going to go over, across, probably up a bit, and it's going to run across back to here, about over the top of the villager breeder about. And then this one, which is this one, the bottom lower stream. So this is where the output villagers are. When you decide where you want them to go, you can let them out here. And then this one will probably go over a little bit. It's going to go up to this level here again. So this is going to be level, I call this one level 1. This is going to be level 2. So this one's going to go over. It's going to have an elevator that goes up to level 2. And then over, I'm going to have a lava pit over here to kill them if you want to dispose of them. If you don't want them, kind of mean, but whatever. So that will be there, and as well as a holding pen. So if I ever want to get them to somebody else or into the nether, or I just want to mass storage, I need a large amount of villagers, I'm going to have a pen here. You can just drop them in. I'll have another portal so I can push them in there if I want to bring them somewhere else in the world, or just hold a large amount of villages without taking up valuable spaces in the storage shells in the individual buildings. So we'll have that there, as well as a lava pit. So lava pit here, storage shell here, and then we'll have it come. This water stream go past those, and there'll be some joints, so that I can tell there'll be a switch that tells you if that will switch if whether the stream will go into the lava pit or the holding pen or whatever. And then we'll have probably a building here and a building over there. And yeah, this is the kind of the problem I want to have. I've kind of have to address here. The main problem is that I've decided I want to have 5 different buildings, one for each type, each color of coat. So we have purple coats, and the yellow coat, white coats, the brown coats, butcher coats, and the blacksmith coats. Actually, I believe I have all of them there. That's 5, I believe. How much? Where are my blacksmiths? I'm gonna have a baby with one. There's a baby with one on it. Oh, here it is, right here. So yeah, we're gonna have one for each one of those buildings, and I want to have like 5 or 6 of these holding cells in there, and I have to space them 4 apart, I believe, for all the redstone to work out. So the buildings actually have to be quite large. So I'm kind of running out of space here, so I'm probably gonna be able to fit 1 over in this section here. I want to have some of the infrastructure over here and over there. So I'm gonna be able to put 2 over here, like 1, and then 2, and then 3. So that leaves 2 more. So I'm actually thinking about probably making another circle out probably that way, probably actually. It's most likely not nearly as big as this, obviously, but big enough that we can put a couple of buildings in it. And yeah, so we'll probably have the water stream 1 over the lower water stream go up over to that building, across that building, etc. We'll have to figure out some kind of joint system, but yeah, this water stream, this one's gonna go up, it's gonna go over, it's gonna go by all the buildings. So if you want to go into any specific building, you can have it, the latch or the gate, open for that. And then it'll come back, and it's gonna come if you haven't opened any of the buildings, it will go into back into this upper water stream here, and there'll be a few other little bits and pieces that I want to add in, but I'm not 100% sure on those, so I'm going to explain those. That's a really risky position there, Mr. Villager. I'm gonna have to go get you, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure on those, so I will figure that out. I'm gonna whack you. I think it's probably the best option. Don't fall down. Oh shoot. It's gonna be tricky, but anyways, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure on all the other bits and pieces, and especially the water stream mechanics inside the buildings. Okay, I want to keep you, so let's. Yeah, so all these villagers, I've just been letting them out after I bred them, and also they've been breeding out of the villager breeder, because they get thrown food when they're in the villager breeder as babies, so that they transfer that over so that they're willing to breed often. But yeah, okay, let's do one thing. Let's go and see if this guy is this blowing mechanism, I believe, is gonna work. There's actually one change I made from the for the holding cell mechanism that I did from the creative. This is actually a whole 1 layer higher, so that this piston is 3 above the ground layer. It's because the villagers were bobbing up and down, and if that piston was down by 1, they were going up into the pushed out piston, and since they're almost always extended, even that little piston, the little pusher bit of the piston right there is considered a non-transparent block, and the non-collidable block, so they just end up in there and getting stuck. So I just need to move the whole thing up, which is not a big deal. And yeah, it's a lot of glass. It's actually really hard to do any work because you can't see very well. But anyways, let's let this villager out and see if it works. There it goes, and they should, and I can show you what these joints do. They do it pretty well. I might run into some problems with the villager breeder running into these joints, but it shouldn't be any problems. Yeah, they do. I guess if they decide they need to walk, they will jump like that, I guess, and they will go a bit slower, but it's not a big deal. Hopefully he won't get stuck here. If it does, then we'll just have to wait until he stops walking. Anyway, there he goes. And there he goes, back to the end. I'm gonna let him out like that. So yeah, that's how that's gonna work. But anyways, that's kind of a more detailed explanation of how all the system's gonna work out. I've kind of drawn out a little piece of paper for myself. And also these, I guess this cell is gonna work. I'm probably just gonna leave it at 1 cell. So next, probably gonna go ahead and build the other cells as well. Probably get started on the elevator for the bottom layer, and possibly the lava pit and stuff like that. And I can also go, you know, I'll go in the creative and show you the latch mechanism that I made, and then I'll get started working on that. Okay, so this is the really simple latch mechanism that I made. So the input would be here, and currently it is in the mode to send the villagers out to one side, not to have them keep going. But I can flip this lever pretty simply, and it will simply go like that, and now the villagers would go that way. So I can show you. I should push this guy in, I guess. And that guy will go past, like that, and if I flip the villager, flip the lever, and you go like that. So I want to have a whole bunch of these along the main artery that comes from the upper part of the temporary village things, and that will so we just have to flip the lever on each one. I'm also debating what I want to have possibly some kind of centralized control room that have redstone that runs through all these various latches and stuff, and the on and off switch for the villager and stuff, have that all in one control room panel thing with so much levers. I'm not exactly sure if I want to do that yet. That's going to be a bit too much work or too much, it's going to be too much redstone running all over the place, but I'm going to think about it at least. There shouldn't be too many switches. To be one lever for each building, one for the lava pit, one for the pit, for the holding pen, so 5, 6, 7, maybe like 10 or so controls, most likely. So that's not probably too bad. I might look into that, but yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go work on the finish working on all the temporary villager cells. Probably get them a little bit more decorated up like this, and I'll get back to you when we're ready to move on to some more interesting bits of the thing, like the lava pit and stuff like that, and getting those tested.